found out late Friday night that Robert Whittaker is out of UFC 221. He is injured. We don't know what happened. It's all very secretive, but what we do know is the new main event for the event in Perth is Luke Rockhold fighting Yoel Romero for the interim middleweight title. So let's go to the Skype machine and welcome in the one and only Luke Rockhold. There he is. Hey, Luke, how are you?
I'm doing well. Just training.
Did you just burp when I said your name? Was that just a burp right on cue?
I just forced a meal down for my chef, having some tea, and just sticking to the program, Ariel. It's a tight schedule.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to bother you. There's a lot going on, Luke, and I appreciate you squeezing us in. So when did you find out, Luke, that Robert Whittaker was out of the title fight? When did you find this info out?
I found this out, what was it, Saturday night? Saturday, Saturday night. It was
Friday night.
I think it was Friday night. Sorry.
Yeah. What was your reaction?
Mm-hmm. It's not an ideal situation, of course, obviously. I'm going across the world to fight a guy that I could fight down the street. I wanted to fight Whittaker. It's a fight I've been seeking for a long time, and I thought it was a good time to make it happen, but obviously he's got some health issues. I wish him the best, and I know Whittaker's not a man to run away from anything. I respect that kid, and I wish him the best. I hope it's not too serious.
Were you super pissed off when you found out initially?
I'm not. I don't really get pissed about things like that. It's just you just have to adjust. That's what fighting's about. It's about making adjustments, and whoever can make the adjustment wins. That's what I'm going to do.
Was there any talk of removing you from the card and doing something different, or were you always going to be on the card? It just now depended on who you'd be fighting.
We didn't really get into it. Yoel was the option right off the bat, and I'm ready to fight. Okay. And as long as there's the money's right, the belt's on the line. I had a good conversation with Hunter Campbell, and we worked out the situation, and we have an interim belt, which it's a good situation for me. Robert will be out for over a year now, and that champions have to stay active, and when you're not, I think it's a justified situation. So Yoel is as tough as they come. I mean, no one beats Yoel unless you're a champion, and that's what I am, and that's what I'm going to do.
Did they give you any insight as to what happened to Robert and how long he'll be out for? Because it's all been very secretive on my end.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard multiple things. I've heard Whittaker is out with something serious. I heard he could be potentially hospitalized. Hold on, I'm getting a call here.
No, it's okay. It will unfreeze in a second.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I've heard he's been dealing with something for weeks now. So I'm trying to wrap my brain around what it could possibly be, and so we'll see, man. I just wish him the best, and I'm just moving forward. I'm focused on what I have now, and Yoel would have happened now or later, one or the other, and so it doesn't matter to me. I'm sure I would have fought him after Whittaker, and so either order, it doesn't matter the order. Yoel first. It's a very similar fight, very explosive, athletic guys, and so just contain them. I think Yoel could expose more holes.
Did you what do you mean expose more holes in who? In you?
No, I think Yoel has more holes to expose in his game. I think Whittaker's tighter. I think he's easier. He's harder to get to, whereas Yoel will kind of leave himself open. So very similar fights, but I like this matchup.
Did you push for maybe getting the official title on the line? Because it seems like he might be out for quite some time. Like, how do you feel about fighting for the interim belt after this long saga that you've been through to try to get back in the title fight?
Yeah, it is what it is at this point. I think beating Yoel will speak for itself. I think it'll speak to who the real champion is. If Whittaker is a stud, and I believe in the kid, but he couldn't put Yoel away. So I go out there and I put Yoel away. I think it speaks volumes. So I'm set to do what I think I can do.
Yoel's been on your radar for a while because you mentioned last time you were on the show, they tried to book this fight for a while. So you've obviously thought about him. How do you feel about going 5 rounds with him as opposed to maybe 3, where in the past, cardio has been, at least from our perspective, his Achilles heel. It seems like he gets tired as the fight goes on. Do you agree with that assessment? Do you feel like going 5 rounds benefits you?
I think 5 rounds always benefits me with anybody I fight. As long as I'm relaxed and I take my time and I'm technical, I'm going to pick apart anybody I step in there with. I'm not going to be outdone. I'm not going to be outworked. I think Yoel his body is suspect. I think his body can only go the way he fights, I think he can only push so hard for so long. Mentally, I think he has it. I mean, he has the will to win, even when he's tired. It's about making his body quit. And that's what I plan to do. He's got limitations. He's got holes. And so, I'm going to pick him apart and I'm going to push his body to that breaking point. I know he's going to come forward. I know he's dangerous. I know he's not going to quit, but I know his body will give out and I'm going to push him to that level.
Do you get paid the same for an interim fight as you do for an official title fight?
I'm getting paid well.
Okay.
I'm getting taken care of. We had a good discussion, like I said, and we're on par. Everything's in a good direction.
I don't know how much you pay attention to this stuff, especially like a month out, but did you hear from a lot of Australian fans who were maybe disappointed that Whittaker was out, but thanked you for staying on the card, anything like that? What kind of feedback did you receive, if any? I don't know if you checked any of it.
I try not to tune in too much right now. I'm tuned into myself and focused on what I can control. Australian fans, of course, I'm sure they're bummed, but they're going to get a world-class fight, and it's going to be a good fucking fight. I promise you that. This guy's going to bring it, and I'm not going nowhere. I'll be right there to fight him every step of the way, and I'm going to put him away just like I would Whittaker. So
you were just
not going to be as bummed. They're not going to be as bummed.
That's right.
Because I'm not being their own man.
Right.
I owe Australia a fight. I owe them a fight, and they're going to get a fight.
Good man.
So I'm ready to go.
You were just there, right? You not that long ago, right after we spoke, you went to Perth. What was it like?
Perth was nice. It's a beautiful place, and I love Australia in general. First time to Perth, but it's awesome. Everything's great, but the taxes. So as long as we work things out on that end, it's all good. So we're in good shape.
How far in advance do you go out there?
I'm gonna go out there about 10 days, something like that, 9-10 days. I fought in 2015. I went there about a week in advance, and I felt like I was just a couple days short. I felt like I could have adjusted a little better. So I'm gauging from that. I'm just gonna do what I did.
Although you had a phenomenal performance in that fight against Michael Bisping.
I did. I fought well. I fought well, and I plan to do the same.
So it's interesting because of the switch, because you're in Florida now, but you have a teammate back home who's fighting on Saturday, Daniel Cormier, who could probably emulate Yoel's style very much. Are you going to stop by California at all, or are you just going to ride this thing out in Florida?
I'm doing what I'm doing here. I'm in good hands. I'm focused. Sometimes you get stuck and you get complacent in your ways. I was too close to home, too much family and everything, and I needed to change for the better. I love my team and everybody. I built my foundation and championships with, and they'll be by my side. I support them and they support me. But I got a great thing going here. The team's awesome, and yeah, Cormier is he's got tough wrestling, but it's Yoel's a bit different than most people you're gonna fight, and so I'm just focused on what I can myself, and I know what I have it takes to put this guy away.
Who will corner you? Do you know yet?
It's gonna be Henry Hooft, Javier Mendez, Bob Cook, and we're working on some feast issues, but probably Greg Jones and Kami.
Okay.
Barzini.
Wow, you could get 5?
We're working on. It depends on visa issues with Kami and Greg, but everyone will be there. My coaches Javier Mendez and Bob Cook have been there for. I built with for 10 years. They know me through and through, and and they'll always be there for me. So I've got AK in my blood, and they're part of me, and I'm part of that family. So they're always gonna be in my corner.
So even though you're not doing day-to-day stuff with them, you're still a part of the team. You still want them there.
We talk, and we bounce information, and they know my style. I mean, they know what we built on together, and so I love the coaching staff and the system out here too. But it's just you have that comfort zone, and when it comes to fighting, we know certain tactics to work on and certain things, but the vibe is great. Overall, I feel good. All the pieces of the puzzle are together here.
Are you looking forward to this weekend being over? Because I saw even Chael Sonnen. I don't know if you saw this clip of Chael talking about you being in Florida with Volkan and stuff. This little drama story of you being with that camp and Cormier. Are you kind of looking forward to all this ending?
I didn't hear anything about it. I don't know. Chael runs his mouth. He loves to talk about drama. He should have his reality show. And I mean, he's a wrestling fan. He's a guy that tries to tie into drama and to build on these people's fucking perception of what is reality, and the fans are pretty stupid and manipulated easy. I support DC, he supports me, and I'm not here to tell anything. May the best man win.
Yeah, it hasn't been awkward.
Fair play to Volkan. And there's nothing to tell here. DC's coming to wrestle. Volkan's coming to take his head off. It's fighter versus grappler, and I talk to DC fucking all the time. I'm not fucking. There's nothing to say about information giving. It's the fight is what it's going to be.
Have you been told that if you win this?
I don't really train with Volkan anyway.
Okay.
I train alongside, but I mean, obviously, we just sit and we do our things.
Right.
Separately.
Have you been told that you win this fight, you're going to fight Robert next, or as you head into this fight, like you don't really know what's what's the status? Have they kind of laid out something for you here?
How do we know? You don't know anything, Ariel. If you don't know anything, I don't know anything.
Well, I appreciate that, but
you're. Come on, I know how you are, and the information is very tight-lipped. No one has spoken up about it, and so until we know Robert's health status, I'm sure we're scheduled to go anywhere. But from what I understand, I think he'll be ready by early summer, and I go put you all away, and I think we're right in line to unify.
Okay. By the way, before I let you go, I was perusing social media. I was on Instagram recently, and I stumbled upon this clip, which we could play here in a second, courtesy of my friends over at Polo Ralph Lauren. And you're in the freaking clip. Can we play that clip here for a second? It's like a commercial, and it says at the end, it says coming in 2018, and it's clearly a commercial for Polo Ralph Lauren. And I know you've dabbled in the the fashion. Well, there you are right there, wrapping your hands while wearing a nice little white polo shirt. What is this all about? What can you tell us?
I don't know. I got a nice working relationship with Ralph Lauren, and there may be some things to come, but I'm not obliged to talk at the moment.
Oh, even though they put that out?
We have a nice working relationship at the moment, and
wow.
I'm sure there'll be something to come in the future.
This is blue chip stuff. This is big time stuff.
Yeah.
Will they be, wait.
Let's say hello to my chef, Roberto.
Hey, Roberto. How are you? Oh, we lost.
Killing it along the way.
Yeah. I hear great things.
Roberto's on fire.
What's for lunch?
What do we just have for lunch, Roberto? We had a little chicken piccata.
Sweet potato, kale, and
some quinoa, some carbs.
Yep,
damn.
Quinoa.
Yeah, we had a little carb base. Got another workout here shortly, so we're on point.
Does Roberto live with you, or he just comes in and cooks the meals?
Roberto's he comes in, cooks the meals, and preps me out, and we go to work.
Is he part of the whole George Lockhart team there with Tyler, Daniel Leith, all those guys?
No, he's not. He's a local chef here in Florida, okay. And I know my nutrition, and I bounce information. I'm always talking to Dan Leith, and I pretty much know my nutrition and what it takes to get my body where it's at, at this point. And so I give Roberto the information, and he adds his twist and makes everything taste quite good. And so we're healthy and ready to go.
This is big time stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Luke Rockhold versus Yoel Romero. It's a fight we've talked about for quite some time. Who would have thought throughout all this drama that you'd end up fighting in Australia of all places for an interim title? Like they tried to make you on the Fox card. You know what I mean? It's crazy how this thing has turned out. What a roller coaster your life is. So much drama.
Yeah, it's interesting, but everything is meant to happen for a reason. And Australia, so be it. Let's do this thing.
Last thing. 5-year anniversary of Strikeforce's last show on Friday. Luke Rockhold's favorite Strikeforce moment. What was it? I feel like I know what it was, but give us something a bit off the grid. What do you got? That's where you started. That's where you were born.
Strikeforce Challengers. There's nothing better than the Strikeforce Challengers. Off the grid, it was the when the cage. Do you remember when the cage broke?
Yes.
Cage broke mid show. It was like right before I was like the co-main event for the night.
Oh wow!
And I think I was the main event for the night. I was supposed to fight, and I was getting all revved up to fight, and then the cage broke and they shut down the fight. That wasn't a highlight, but it was a down moment. But we bounced back nicely. I think then I got the Paul Bradley fight. That was like my big breakout fight, and
yes,
my first knockout. So that was a fun one. So nice little. That was back when the old corrupt California Commission.
Yes. What do you mean, the whole corrupt California Commission? What are you talking about?
Just back in the day, if you know MMA, you should know what was going on when the old commissioner ran the show. There was a lot of interesting plays they pulled together.
Okay. And of course
but they shut down the event anyway. It was a fun times back in the day.
I see you still buddies with Scott Coker. You play golf with him all the time. I see it on social media.
Me and Scott are tight. We've always been, and he's always been a golf buddy of mine. And so why? There's no harm in playing a couple rounds together.
Oh, I love it. Luke, pleasure as always. Thank you for doing this. I know you're very busy, so thank you so much, and good luck. For the last month in preparation. Of course, good luck in Australia.
Thank you very much. I'll see you then.
All right,
Cheers.
There he is, Luke Rockhold, stopping by.